Good morning from Harriman, Utah. Welcome into Zions Bank Stadium. MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate, rolling on to the semifinals. It's a change of venue as we head down the road from Salt Lake City here to Zions Bank Stadium, as we've got a good one in the U16 homegrown semifinal. Met Oval Academy against Barca Academy. Along with Jalil Anibaba, I'm Carter Augustine. Welcome in wherever you're watching around the world. And Jalil, down to the last four. These two teams one game away from the final.
Yeah, and it's been exciting. And it's been a great road for both teams to get here. A lot of history between these two clubs. I'm very excited to see what this fixture delivers us.
Two teams in fine form. And speaking of that road, let's take a look at it right here. Down to the last four. The other semifinal features Total Football Academy against Philadelphia Union. Metropolitan Oval and Barca Residency Academy have fought their way through the first three games of the competition into this semifinal, a step away from fighting for the title. Let's take a look at the lineups, beginning with Metropolitan Oval. Same starting 11 for all four games of the tournament.
A lot of continuity between this group here. Look at the central midfield as they facilitate going forward and backward here. This 4-3-3 has been producing a lot of good cohesion throughout this tournament so far.
Yet to concede in the tournament, Metropolitan Oval. Meanwhile, for Barca Residency Academy, they've had a star in goal. Zach Enon has saved a penalty and scored the winner as they've gotten through two of their games on penalties, but they've got a couple big names inserted into the lineup here today as well.
Absolute scenes in the quarterfinals to get them here. Look at the back line, though. Easton Odom, number 42 on the left-hand side. He will be prolific. And Ethan O'Neill. Those are two U.S. internationals who are here and ready to help their team try to push into the next round.
Just about ready to get going. And away we go. MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate moves on to the semifinals here at Zions Bank Stadium. Barca Residency Academy kicking things off right to left in that familiar Blaugrana. Meanwhile, it's Metropolitan Oval in the all-whites with the black trim. Along with Jalil Anibaba, I'm Carter Augustine. Thank you for joining us, as you have done all week, I'm sure. And now we're down to the last four here in the U16 homegrown division. As Met Oval, inside the opening 30 seconds or so, earn a corner kick. What a start for Metropolitan Oval.
That's exactly what you want if you are Met Oval, to get yourself on the front foot, get a set piece early on in the match. How often in football, and especially in this tournament, have we seen set pieces and corner kicks turn the tides of a match?
So critical in knockout stage football. What can Met Oval do from their first? It's whipped in towards the near post. Loud shout from the keeper, and he holds on. Second time of asking, does Zach Enon.
Yeah, Enon is going to have an outstanding match in the semifinals to potentially help get his team into the finals. He was excellent in the earlier stages in this match. Penalty kick shootout in the quarters to get them here. Saves a massive penalty kick and then buries one to get them in to the semifinal match.
They're streaming forward into the attack. Sean DeWitt now into Armand Alaga. He'll slide it to Darwin Lopez and sliding in to make the block. Christian Aisi. Good bit of recovery there from the center back for Metropolitan Oval. And now they're back on the ball. The all-whites only for a split second. Intercepted. And into the attack come Barca Residency Academy. Fight for possession. It's won back by the Blaugrana. In behind is Alaga. Alaga getting to the end line. Alaga cuts it back. Cut out. And from one end to the other we go. A corner now for Barca Residency Academy.
High energy at the start of this match is exactly what you should expect. These two teams, like we talked about in the Open, have been excellent in this tournament so far to get themselves into the semis. Both teams, 22 players down there on the pitch, they understand that if you come out front foot, punch early, it's the best way to get yourself in the position to try to charge on to the finals.
Damian Quinones is going to deliver the corner with his left. He's going to slide it to the top of the box. Darwin Lopez through traffic. Well held by Alexander Zelinik. So a corner apiece has come and gone. Now Met Oval trying to work it from back to front. Gets a second opportunity. Did Will Tumanello. We'll have the throw here, the all-whites of Metropolitan Oval. Same starting 11 for all 4 games of the tournament. Why change things? Yet to concede here in match number 4. It was a 6-0 thrashing of De Anza Force back on Saturday in the round of 32. Followed that up with a couple wins over Albion SC. More on that in a moment as Alaga was bearing down on goal, but well blocked by Christian Brandon Marte. Switch could be on over to Easton Odom. He drops it off for Jaden Pastuna. Swerve back into the center circle for Barca. Back it goes to Ethan O'Neill. First start of the tournament, and there's a pretty good reason why. Just getting back from a trip to Croatia with the US U16's Ethan O'Neill, slotting right into the center back position here this morning, and evidently he landed the morning of their quarterfinal matchup with Orlando City and played in the second half. How about that for the world-traveling Ethan O'Neill?
Hey, make sure you get those stamps on your passport, Ethan O'Neill, fresh off the plane and into the quarters, helping his team get to the semifinals here. When you look at Barca Academy, Ethan O'Neill is one of the players that has been excellent. He's playing up in age. He's going to need to use all of his good form, good confidence coming into his club, of course, from the national team into this very crucial semifinal match. He's up for the challenge and very excited.
Into the area goes. First meaningful chance and a bit of a side to the heaven from Andres Calle Padilla as he could only find the goalkeeper's gloves.
Met Oval turns over Barca Academy. They look to go quick here. They're also in a 4-3-3, so they will have numbers if they turn the ball over high up the pitch to go at Barca very quickly. That's first evidence of it. Barca's goalkeeper, though, has been a standout performer, so there's going to need to find the corners a little bit more if you're going to threaten him. What I like about this game early on is that both teams understand, okay, on the defensive side, you need to make sure that you get numbers behind the ball because both teams are looking to punch first. And then on the attacking side, right now, we often talk about the energy early in the match, and it's been on point.
High line from Barca, and it works to perfection this time round. Step in unison and draw the offside flag.
Yeah, it's very well done there from Barca's back line. Everybody understanding exactly what they're trying to do. If you have one player that lulls off or is not attentive to the entire line stepping up, you have a breakaway for Met Oval. Well done for the back line of Barca.
Mentioned that pathway for Metropolitan Oval. 6-0 over De Anza Force. Then it was a 2-0 victory over Albion SC out of Los Angeles. They did the double over Albion as from the round of 16 on Sunday, they moved to the quarterfinals on Tuesday. 3-0 over Albion from San Diego. Now they're back into the attack through Calle Padilla as he gets to the edge of the area. Blocked out for a corner.
Yeah, second corner of the morning for Met Oval. They've had their foot on the gas so far. It's a good block there from Ethan O'Neill, but in the end of the day, if you continue to attack wave after wave, you'd like to think eventually the dam will break for any defensive side. Again, I like the energy early on in this match.
Marcellus Singleton, the second, up from his center back position, along with a couple others. Again, it's in towards the near post. Second phase to come. Curling efforts. Enon was not worried, but a decent shooting position there for Calle Padilla.
Padilla just looking to get this one out of his feet. Little shimmy, get to the right there, looking for that top corner. Doesn't miss by much. Goalkeeper not troubled because he can see the flight of it.
Meanwhile, for Barca Residency Academy, they will build out of the back, as is the MO, up and down the Barca development system. Back pass is right into the feet of Calle, who's bearing in on goal. Little cutback finish. Not enough power to test Enon.
Yeah, Calle definitely revving his engine here. Barca's going to look to clean up their ability to build out, not putting themselves into trouble like that from the goalkeeper there. Sometimes you need to be a little bit more pragmatic, go direct. It doesn't mean you're just hoofing it forward. Here they come.
Well worked. And now it's into the feet of DeWet, who's just on the edge. And in he goes. DeWet looking for the curler. He sends it just wide, but via a deflection, corner kick for Barca.
Yeah, this is what you want for all the neutrals out there that want an exciting game. End-to-end stuff. Good defensive cohesion from Barca early on to make sure that they don't give up a goal here. But this is exactly what you want. Be able to get your number 11 into an advantageous position. He's looking to curl one into that side corner as well. On the other side, we have a look. Met Oval is pushing the issue as well here. Again, goalkeeper for Barca, he's been excellent throughout the course of this tournament, so a little bit more to trouble him, but Barca their second corner in the morning.
Chances on both ends. It's the second corner for Barca, right in on the goalkeeper. Zelenic commands his area well. Energetic start to the match here inside these 10 minutes. And as we mentioned in the pre-match, it is a change of venue. We're at the Regional Athletic Complex up until these semifinals, switching over to Zions Bank Stadium and Jalil. Now they're on turf, so just a little bit of a different feel to the game as well. They had been playing on grass to this stage.
Yeah, ironically, the ball is going to move a little bit quicker on this turf than it was moving at the other facility. The other facility, the grass was pristine, it was beautiful, but it catched and carried a little bit more. So the game is going to be a little bit faster. Of course, it's going to bounce and catch up a little bit more. Met Oval, their home field, stadium, if you will, is a turf pitch, so they're used to it. All players in this modern phase of football, though, are used to turf, so it's not going to trouble either side. It's who's able to use it to their advantage better.
Nicely done from Aiden Louison as he touches it around the defender, darts onto it, and they'll play back into their own half. Ooh, there's a mistake at the back given away. Now Alaga off to the races. Alaga saved by Zelenic.
Yeah, this is a good game, man. Early on, Met Oval trying to pass out. I give them a lot of credit, but Barca steps forward and they go straight to goal. In the end, looking to go against the grain there. But the reason why I say that this is a good game is because you have both teams. They are trying to methodically play, pass with courage, build out of the back. I like that a lot. But then on both sides of the line, there is high press stepping forward, and mistakes are going to be of the premium. When you have both teams who are dedicated to maintaining the ball and building out, it's who is going to step up the line and capitalize on those mistakes here. We've seen both teams get picked off on their press high up the pitch. No one has been able to convert, but as the game wears on and fatigue and fitness comes into the play, it's going to be about who is able to be more mentally focused, because there is quality on both sides.
Start to the game, both teams confident on the ball. And speaking of confidence, Ethan O'Neill with the Cruyff turn under pressure, and Ethan springing the move down the left now. Duet's looking for the overlap. He's going to cut infield with Pastuna. Pastuna sending one to chase into the corner, just going to run away from Alaga and out of play. Two teams that have come here battle tested, but albeit different battles. Mentioned Met Oval yet to concede. Meanwhile, for Barca Residency Academy, 2 of their 3 victories were on penalty kicks. And that in a moment as Ezra Van Cleve has ripped possession back for Barca along the far side, and they can whirl it into the center circle for Mateo Oropesa. Back he goes in the direction of Van Cleve. Towering header away by Ayesi. The offside flag comes up, so it will be a free kick to Met Oval. Barca pathway saw a 1-1 against New England Revolution on Saturday in the round of 32. Made all 4 of their penalties, 4-3 on to the round of 16 on Sunday, where they defeated Baltimore Armor by 3-1. And then on Tuesday, one of the feistier games you'll see at a youth tournament. Certainly one of the headlines says, there's a mistake from the goalkeeper, and Tumanello is onto it in a flash. He picks it up on the end line. Tumanello step over into the area, and he can't take full advantage. Still it remains with Met Oval. Louison eyes up onto the penalty spot. O'Neill there, side-footed away. Out for a corner, just a little bit lackadaisical at the back here for Barca and their goalkeeper.
Met Oval looking to go a little bit direct into the channel here. Ethan O'Neill elects to let it run on to his goalkeeper. The goalkeeper hesitates just a little bit there. Met Oval, again, stepping their lines up high, being very advantageous and opportunistic there. Getting numbers behind the ball is what Barca is able to rely on to make sure that there aren't any further implications there. But again, being alert and attentive has been the name of the game 14 minutes in.
Corner kick into a good area. Still alive for Met Oval. Cleared now and picked up by the All-Whites. Back it goes towards Joshua Lee. Stepping into a couple Blaugrana shirts. And now it's with Barca and Van Cleve. So calamity avoided in the end. Looked like Enon just wanted that ball to roll back into the area so he could pick it up, but Will Tuminello was on his bike to get there first. We're looking for a foul as, let's take a look back at Ethan O'Neill on the ball.
Yeah, the U.S. international here. We talked about him fresh off of the plane here. Composure, irks, and then getting the pass off as well. You can be nice on the ball and the dribble, but if you don't complete the pass, coaches aren't going to be happy. That's a play right there where his coaching staff is going to be very happy with his composure.
Darwin Lopez with a lovely little flick of his own. Now around the corner goes from Pastun. A good step. Luison winning it back. Quickly back though. It's a scramble for possession in the heart of the pitch now, and it's just going to be scraped away in the end by Cooper Corletto. Alluding to that wild quarterfinal for Barca. It was a 2-2 against Orlando City SC. Fortunately, there were some punches thrown from one from each team.
Oh,
lovely little step over. Alaga, he'll round the goalkeeper. Looking back to the ref, nothing given. Quinones into the feet of Alaga. Not a vociferous protest, it must be said, from Armand Alaga. Worrying moment there at the back for Met Oval. There's been a worrying moment at the back for each team so far, but we're a quarter of an hour in, still 0-0 in this semifinal matchup. Calmly done for Maisi as he fakes inside. Instead, he's going to head towards the sideline. Tug of the shirt. And that will be a foul and a free kick for Met Oval as they were scrambling back defensively here.
Yeah, this is good deception there from Barca. Cry for a penalty kick on the naked eye. It looked like a pen here, but you can see as it slowed down, there is no contact. Excellent refereeing from the crew there to make sure that all eyes are exactly where they need to be. You're looking to see if the goalkeeper's right wrist there does make contact with the attacker. The answer is no. No penalty kick. We move on.
Great work from our production crew. Great work from the referee. And maybe a little bit of fortune for Alaga that he didn't see a yellow for simulation there.
Yeah, the reason why he wouldn't get a yellow for simulation is because it was tight. It was bang play there. He didn't really push his foot out and then pull up the landing gear or dive into the deep end of the pool there. Very well done on both sides of the line.
Van Cleve taking the space. Now it's with DeWitt. Onto his left. Power in that effort and a good response at the near post from Zelenik. Corner number 3 to come for Barca.
Yeah, this is good stuff here. DeWitt doing a very good job to get it to his left foot. Just test the goalkeeper. See if he's attentive and alert to his near post. Good goalkeeping in the end, but that's what you want to do as an attacker. Doesn't always need to be extremely intricate, beating the defenders, getting down to the end line. Sometimes you can just have a strike to see if the back line of the goalkeeper are ready.
They're going to stick with the in-swinging theme. He's swung on to the top of the 6. Picked up by Van Cleve. Tackled away by Patrick Bonsu Jr. Aisi. Slick passing to break the pressure here for Met Oval, and that's a useful ball over the top. Luison is on the chase. He will get to it into the corner flag. Luison A step over into a crossing opportunity, but too close to Enon. Hot and windy day here in Harriman, Utah. Winds might just have carried that ball on the roll away from Louison. Might well be a factor, the wind here this morning into the afternoon, as it has been throughout the tournament thus far. Of course, now we're inside the stadium, so we do have a little bit more protection than what we saw out at the Regional Athletic Complex over the past week. It's Brandon Marte drops. Get on the ball for Met Oval. He's demanding it back.
You talk about change of venue, Carter, when players are able to play in such a beautiful complex here and stadium. It just adds to the optics, to the motivation, the intensity. And you can tell here, all 22 are understanding that concept. They're focused, man. We're down on the pitch for warm-ups. There's just that intensity in the air. Both teams making sure every single touch was on point when they're in their warm-up, either the build-out or shooting drills. Those are things that coaches are very attentive of. When players are getting themselves ready, they know if they have good warm-ups, they typically translate into good performances.
Oh. Lovely turn from Tumanello. Chop pass in behind. Offside flag goes up to deny a glorious opening goal for Met Oval.
Barca Academy looks to replicate what the first team does in Spain. And one of the facets of how Barca plays is a very high line. You have to have cohesion. They've had it so far there. It's very unfortunate for Met Oval that it just jumped the line by maybe a step or so. Barcelona living dangerously with that high line, but they've been doing it very well so far, but that last chance was closer. They come.
DeWitt into the area. DeWitt cutting it inside. DeWitt! Oh. He picks out the bottom corner! It's a stunning finish! And Sean DeWitt sends Barca Residency Academy into the lead in the semifinal, 1-0. Moments after they thought they might be down, it's Barca in front, and they're dancing in the Blaugrana.
Oh, yeah, they are. Duet. Hey, this is drippy. Look at him, bottom of your screen, number 11. He's open, understanding where the danger is, switching the point of attack. That's why we always talk about it. He can get on his stronger right foot. He can finish into the bottom corner and put his team closer and closer to the finals. This is excellent composure here. He knows that if he can just get right there, shift the weight of the defender, that he is going to have the advantage of the angle. This is excellent attacking here. Patience in the final third, finding the bottom corner, dancing to the corner flag there. You can see what it means to Barca Academy. They're waving over all the homies to celebrate here in the 22nd minute. 1-0 to Barca Academy.
Second goal of the tournament for Sean DeWitt. First goal conceded in the tournament for Met Oval. Something they'll have to do for the first time. Responds to going a goal nil down. Responds to giving up a goal after 3 consecutive clean sheets to reach the semifinals.
We were talking about the play right before the goal and how Barcelona stepped up their line. Here they come, Met Oval.
Pressure. Won back by Lee, high up the park. He's trying to slot it to the penalty spot. An important block, but still alive for Met Oval. Oh, that's a wonderful dribble past the defender and racing out Enon to smother the opportunity.
Very good goalkeeping from Enon there.
What
man? This has been a very good game, but he has been causing all types of trouble for Barcelona. He's been very unfortunate to not hit the back of the net, asking a lot of questions. He's operating in that soft space on the left-hand side where it's a little bit awkward for Barca to be able to track his movements. And he runs into the channels with very good timing. He's opportunistic, does not give up on plays, and it's typically that second bite of the apple where he comes alive there. If it's not for excellent goalkeeping, Barcelona between the sticks and Enon, you're going to look at a completely different scoreline. Right before Barcelona scored, Carter, we were talking about how they live and die by that high line. You have to have everybody on the same page. They have been on the same page. They keep Met Oval offside the play before. They flip the script, allow Duet to get in the space that he operates. They find themselves up 1-0. That is the definition of turning defense into offense.
Tackle falls to the feet of Alaga. As he tries to change the pace, it's not going to fool Ayisi. Sliding in, he gets it clear. Just about halfway through this first half. What a semifinal we have on our hands so far.
Yeah, and it's what you would expect, because these two teams here, they very much understand the different phases of play. They play as a unit. They both look to get the ball on the ground and play, pass. They play in very similar formations, versions of a 4-3-3, if you will. And as this game now settles out, with the first goal being scored by Barcelona, we're in the 24th minute here. Expect for Barca to try to pass a little bit more intricately. Once you get kind of those anxious nerves out of your system and you hit the back of the net, you try to then be a little bit more methodical. But what Met Oval is going to look to do is pick them off high and then go as quickly as they can to net.
Like you said, it's not a knock on the earlier rounds and the intensity in those. Certainly there was intensity in Barca's 2-2 onto penalties over Orlando City in the quarterfinals, but just in the warm-ups, there's just got a different feel here at the stadium in this semifinal. Van Cleve, he'll find Alaga. Alaga digs out of shots. Goalkeeper makes the first save. He gets up to make the second. Ordezi, it trickles over the line. Ezra Van Cleve following up, and he doubles the lead for Barca. It's Barca 2, Met Oval 0.
Again, staying attentive, second bites at the apple is what typically gets you what you want on the attacking end of the field here. You can see Van Cleve, he's operating, looking to find that little 1-2. He's just first to it, reacts. Very unfortunate for Met Oval, because he thought that maybe it's going to bounce over the net, but Van Cleve is celebrating to the corner kick, 2-0, or corner flag rather, 2-0 to Barcelona. What I love about this here is it doesn't always need to be pretty, you just need to get to it first. And that is excellent stuff for Van Cleve. He stays with the play. And as you can see here on the reverse angle, unfortunate to not be able to make that parry either to the side or hold on to it. But in the end, it's Van Cleve that gets there first, says, yeah, it's me. Everybody hyping him up. A lot of work to do still left for Barca, but they're cruising in this match, 2-0 in the 26th.
First goal of the tournament for Ezra Van Cleve, as he was reclassified. He had been playing with the U17s. The U16s are happy to have him in the ranks here today. As Will Tumanello tried to dribble through a double team. What a turnaround this has been, Jalil. It looked like it was going to be 1-0 to Met Oval. Just a few seconds later, it was 1-0 in the other direction, and now Barca have added a second. And
what I'm going to be looking at now, the next 5 minutes, is what is the mentality? What's the body language from Met Oval? Because if they stay with this match, we talk about the fact that 2-0 is the most dangerous lead in football, because psychologically you can think, okay, yeah, we've done everything that we need to do in 27 minutes. We're all good. You can lull off, and if you take your foot off the gas or maybe put it in neutral a little bit, that can give Met Oval, ironically, the opportunity to pull one back, and then now psychologically you're scrambling from a Barcelona standpoint. So you're going to want to continue on. Look for that third. Of course, not expose yourself at the back, but look for that third goal where then you could potentially run away with this match.
As is usually the case, the third goal in a 2-0 of the utmost importance. Each one of these teams will claim that this one doesn't really feel like it's going to end with just the 2 goals. And the dust settles after 90 minutes. Van Cleve can turn into space, but that's a lovely timed challenge from Brandon Marty. Gets stuck in. Now a foul against Barca will be a free kick for Met Oval. Yellow card out of the pocket for the first time. Barcelona man into the book. I believe it was Sebastian Calderon. We'll get you confirmation on who got that yellow in just a moment. As Met Oval are going to make the first change of the match. Checking in is Jace Pack, as he will replace Aiden Louison. Back to Brandon Marte, the captain. Chop back to the near for Corletto. Twisting and turning, finds a little pocket of space, looking for the newcomer out on the pitch. It's just going to roll away from Pack. Also trying to play out just through the pressure.
It's good composure from Barca.
Cleverly disguised that pass, Enon, as he chops it back towards Odom. Marte, another tackle to win possession back. The number 6 living up to his numbers so far for the All Whites. But again, Barca, once they lose it, they're onto it in a flash. Down goes Calderon. And it will be a free kick for Barca.
Barca fully taking control of this match. Whenever you go up 2-0, you're again looking to then control the ball with your ability to rely on your press to step numbers high, pick balls off, but most importantly, when you have the ball, move it side to side, make the other team work. As far as moving the ball side to side, again, Met Oval is going to look to try to do the same as well. I like the way that they methodically move up the pitch. They can isolate their wingers and get good service into the box. Could be a way that they can find themselves back into this match. They have an advantage, 2v1 on that far post or far side.
Clever little dip of the shoulder from Bonser Jr. to start the move. He's on the ball once more. Sliding it towards Brandon Marte, who's going to switch field towards Pack on the near side.
Goal scorer and Duet doing a very good job there to chip in, help out Easton Odom. Because anytime a team elects to go to the bench, put in a fresh winger in and around the 30th minute of the match, you want to make sure from a defensive standpoint that your outside back has a lot of cover to first and foremost make sure that that incoming winger does not really get a full head of steam and confidence, right? So that's very good game understanding there from goal scorer and Duet to help out Easton Odom.
Asking for handball, Met Oval, as they apply the pressure through Pack. Duet now into a double team. Does draw a foul to relieve the pressure. Free kick. Touch tight to their sideline. Barca. And back it goes to Zach Enon. Mentions he's been a star so far in the tournament. Saved a penalty in each of their penalty kick victories. And also scored the winning pen in each of their penalty shootout victories thus far. The goalkeeper for Barca on the ball. Flipping it low. Interception by Brandon Marte. Now roll through to Enon. Just past the half-hour mark. Again, Met Oval doing well to step up the pressure. Gaye unable to connect as Barca move into the attack. Half an hour gone. Barca lead 2-0 over Met Oval in this U16 homegrown semifinal at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. So just slowing things down after they had a bit of wind in their sails into the attack. Gonna work it along the back line once more with O'Neal. Cutting pass, he splits the lines and able to turn his Pastuna. Already an assist to his name. He hands it off to Van Cleve. And Cleve asking a lot. Lopez coming up with the goods as he keeps it in along the chalk. Chalk on his boots here for Lopez. Dropping it off for the first time, cross from Calderon. A little stab at it, Calderon keeps it into the attack. Lopez, flick over the shoulder. Bonsu clears it for Met Oval. O'Neal with Oropesa, back to O'Neal. O'Neal, another cutting pass. Downwind to Laga. Good strength along the back line for Corletto. In defeat it goes for Tuminello, and he's got the overlap coming from Pac. Just rolling away from him agonizingly there. It's an unorthodox number 23 on the back of the shirt there for J.C. Pac.
Yeah, you got to do what you got to do to be Jordan, bro. Got to do what you got to do.
Space in the center circle. Slipped across for DeWitt. He hears the footsteps, manages to elude, and finds Van Cleve. Oropesa. DeWitt. Intercepted by Met Oval as we have a score update from Field 2. Of course, the winner of that match on to the final will be the opponents for the championship against the winner of this. And it's Total Football Academy leading a 0-0 over Philadelphia Union. That match kicking off right about the same time as this one this morning, as we've now moved into the afternoon here in the Wasatch Mountains. Free kick in the center circle for Met Oval. Brandon Marte on the spin, and he finds a good ball into Tuminello. Tuminello worked his way into a shooting chance, blocked right off his toes by Oropesa. Sliding in, Bonsu gets it clear. It's 2-0 now. It was nearly 1-0 Met Oval. What a chance early on, and they thought they were in the lead.
Yeah, a bit of controversy, I'm not going to lie here, because you can see that the line is very, very tight. Production crew does an excellent job to give us that freeze frame there. With the angle, it's impossible for us to be able to tell exactly where the players lie there. You have to trust the referees to say that they got that one right. Ethan O'Neal did an excellent job to just toe the line there, but if you're Met Oval, you have an argument that that could have been onside.
Well, it was this man Tuminello that created the chance. Joaquin Ramirez in behind thought he had held his run. Like you said, Jaleel, we don't have as good an angle from our view as the referee would have. Lopez dances beyond one. It's the captain has been there putting up the fires thus far. Brandon Marte with another important challenge for Met Oval. Did just get confirmation from our crew that it was indeed Sebastian Calderon who was the player booked earlier on, about 5 minutes ago or so. So one player on a yellow. It is the Barca right back. DeWitt. Lovely little 1-2, and he slips it back into Van Cleve. Van Cleve stopping on the ball, keeping it alive. Oh, it's a lovely pause inside the area. Two important blocks for the All Whites. Kaye trying to race up the other end, and he's got the run. Oh, he's galloping beyond defenders. Kaye down the left-hand side. Still with Kaye. Stings the palms. Rebound alive. Tuminello there. Barca scrambling it away for a corner. Players catching their breath. We have to catch our breath as it goes end-to-end in a flash thanks to Andres Kaye.
Oh, yeah, Kaye Padilla. We've talked about his ability to take the game by himself. That is excellent stuff to get in past the defense. He dribbles past about 4 players there, looks for a strike. I like that. And then Met Oval has 1, 2, 3 bites at the apple there. Barcelona does a good job to get numbers behind the ball eventually to help their goalkeeper out. but end-to-end frenetic stuff here.
Joshua Lee to the near side for the corner. It's curling out along the 6. Good defensive header that. Clearing the area, and it will find boy in Blaugrana. DeWitt really had one option. He was trying to pick out Lopez. That's a bit of misfortune for Met Oval, bouncing up off the turf into the hand.
Yeah, tactically what Barca has relied upon is the interchanging of positions. You have the goal scorer in DeWitt, who is now playing as that right 8 or 10, if you will. Sometimes he's playing as a false 9 even. Earlier on in the game, we saw him solely operating on this left wing near side. So I really like the interchange that Barca is looking to use to confuse the Met Oval defense, if you will.
Looking for DeWitt, but in the way was Lee. Zelenik straight down the center, intercepted by Pastuna. Pastuna, what a first touch to open up space for the shot there. Well blocked in the end. Pastuna darts his way into the half moon. Lopez takes over. His shot blocked. Back heel, unable to fool Pac, who's back defensively. I beg your pardon, that was Corletto who got the defensive job done for Met Oval. O'Neal. Pastuna. Able to turn, and he finds Odom. Odom in the pocket. Odom pass 1. Odom pass 2. Odom still. And the third player eventually gets that important touch away. Turned over on the edge of the area. Alaga goes for the near post. Saved by Zelenik, who pounces on the rebounds.
This is Easton Odom going from east to west, low-key, north to south. And Barca relying on their ethos to win the ball back, to have repeated actions at goal. I really like what I've seen from Alaga this morning. He's been all over the place and very confident in the attacking third, creating a lot of opportunities, sniffing out spaces where it's been difficult for Met Oval to defend.
Beautiful from Brandon Martes. He sprays it to the far side. Now cut back to the edge of the 6, outside of the boots. Not enough power in the end. The chance for Joshua Lee, as they went from right to left, Met Oval, into one of their best opportunities so far.
Yeah, and it seems like when we're talking about one team, the other team perks up and creates a chance for themselves. I really like what Met Oval is doing, especially on the left-hand side of their offense. Unable to hit the back of the net there, but Barca keeps giving them opportunities like that. You would like to think that eventually they will find what they are looking for.
Van Cleve just got it mucked up in his shoes a bit. One back by Aisi. Odom going to saunter over. One of 4 players in the starting lineup that are playing up an age group here for Barca, including this young man, Ethan O'Neal. Some of those 2011s playing here with the 2010s. Fluid through the heart of the defense here from Barca. DeWitt is in some space. DeWitt already went to his name, looking for a second. He'll smash a shin guard off a defender with that effort. It's out for a Barca corner. He's not shy of cutting inside and getting a shot away, Sean DeWitt.
Nah, Sean DeWitt been balling, man. Anytime he's been isolated, especially on the near left side, he's created a lot of problems. Because, yes, he's an inverted winger that can get onto his stronger right foot and create a lot of problems, but he can play with his left foot as well. Makes it very difficult for a defender to cage him 1v1.
Lopez with the service.
Oy.
Good ball in. Didn't really adjust to it in the air. The header's going to be a back pass. Lopez knows he's offside, and so he'll just let it run. Our man Alaga able to attack it at the near post. Couldn't quite redirect it towards goal.
Yeah, not much time left in this first half, but again, Alaga has been very dangerous. Operating mainly in those soft spaces where it's right behind the defensive midfielders of Met Oval, getting the ball on the half turn, either taking a shot to set up Van Cleve's goal or facilitating side to side. when he has the opportunity to go 1v1, he's not scared of that at all. Definitely a young attacker that has a lot of promise.
Allaga has scored once in each of their 3 games heading into this semifinal, leading the team with his 3 goals. He's looking for Tuminello, just going to roll away from him. Awkward clearance. Odom couldn't quite get out of the way, but fortunately for Barca, it bounces into the path of Quiñones. Pesa. Into the final 90 seconds of normal time here at the end of the first half. Barca with that 2-0 advantage. Enon just walking it out of his area now. Trying to pull apart this Met-Oval defense. And back it goes with Enon, who now will look long up towards Van Cleve. Did well to shield that from the would-be defender. Brandon Marte going to be called for the foul. Stung forward by Oropesa. It bounced awkwardly off the shoulder, and that's well adjusted to by Allaga. Duet, second opportunity. Important challenge there from Corletto as he was able to get it away from Lopez. On the race away now is Ramirez as he pulls wide. He's got Lee up with him. Also Tuminello. Tuminello finding Pac into the area. Back it goes for Tuminello. Oh, clever touch. Tuminello goes down. Half-hearted appeals not listened to by the referee.
Again, what I like from Met Oval is that they aren't shaken by the scoreline. They continue to try to progress up the field, and then when they get in these goal-scoring opportunities, they've had bright ideas. Unable to get it out of his feet there, but I don't mind that bit of creativity to try to shift it back over to the right foot, because if that technique comes off, you're walking it in with the right foot, an easy finish, probably to the near post.
Into first half stoppage time, a minimum of 2, and we're already just about halfway through those 2 minutes of stoppage time. Coming up at the half, get to know Julian Hall. I think America's starting to get to know this young man. Of course, he won the MLS NEXT Cup MVP awards and hasn't looked back since. We will get to know Julian Hall at halftime, as well as a first half summary of what has been an exciting semifinal thus far. Oropesa. Curling one down that left inside channel. Pastuna into the area already. Pastuna, and that's a leaping save from Zelenik to his left. Right on the cusp of halftime, an important save for Met Oval.
Carter, you're just talking about the pathway in Julian Hall and how prolific he's been here. We're seeing some very young players that I can guarantee you we're going to be talking about for years on end. Zelenik is an excellent goalkeeper. He makes that save in a way that keeps his team in this match. Very good progression down the left wing for Barca. But to be able to hold on to this one, he has to stretch. A lot of goalkeepers are going to parry that to their left with the tap in at the back post. Barcelona cruising into the locker room here. 2-0. They had a very good first half, but I don't think that the score line really paints the whole picture here, because Met Oval had a lot of good opportunities and they're pushing the issue as well.
It's been end to end. It's been energetic. It's been lively. Barca lead at the break, thanks to goals from Sean DeWitt and Ezra Van Cleve. 2-0 over Met Oval as we head to halftime. You are watching the MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate.
Julian Hall, remember the name. It's that man again, Julian Hall. Let's go, it goes in. Mehmeti, has he broken through here? Mehmeti across, Hall! Swinging ball towards the back post, it goes! Opening goal for Red Bull New York, Julian Zakshevsky Hall!
Born in Manhattan, New York, Julian Hall found the game the same way a lot of kids in this city do.
I first kind of started playing soccer when I was around 4 years old. I would play a lot wherever I could, if it was a field near my apartment or wherever I could, basically. And I just remember, falling in love with the game and wanting to play as much as I can. There's a main place I would play. It's pretty popular in Manhattan. It's called Pier 40, and a lot of people go there. That's where I played with Manhattan Kickers. It's kind of where I really started to realize I really wanted to play soccer seriously and maybe make it professionally.
That love for the game turned into an opportunity, a move into one of the top academies in the country.
Julian came into our system at U14. I think he played about 3 or 4 games with the U14s. I was a U15 coach at the time, so I was observing those games, and you could see straight away he was a special talent. So he quickly got moved up an age group to play with the U15s that season. Made an instant impact with the older age groups.
The level changed quickly, and so did the expectations.
I was very excited to come in and, show my ability, and I was playing with my age and I was playing a year up, and the intensity was a different level, I would say, from what I've ever played at that point in my life. So, yeah, no, it's an amazing experience.
Chimueno scored off the bench against Seattle, and Julian Hall with the breakthrough! The Golden Boot leader rises to the occasion, and we've got an electric finish here in the U15 final.
He's one of those players that can get you up off your feet. Like, he's direct, he can take players on, he can score goals from inside the box, outside the box in really different ways. And, it would always amaze you how he would find goals in the game.
The next step brought a new set of challenges.
That was the biggest jump for me, going from academy to professional football. The intensity, the physicality, the football, it was all quicker than anything I had experienced before. And, I just thought I did a good job of staying level-headed and not being discouraged about little things.
Working to the midfield, now Gonzalez entering the box, across and a goal! Julian Hall puts the Red Bulls 2 on the board.
I was lucky to be coached by Ibrahim Sakaya, and Bradley Wright Phillips was there a lot of the time as well. They did a good job of helping me progress and helping me not get discouraged and keep going every single day and working hard. The coaching staff really mended me very well.
Like, he's always striving to try and get better at something within games and training. And then, why he adapts well, he's a natural goal scorer.
For Julian, it was about staying level and keeping the work the same.
When you go to a professional environment, if you're doing the most amount of work and you're clearly working harder than everyone else, it stands out to a lot of people, and that can be something that separates you from everyone else. If you're a hard worker, that could get you to a lot of places, and I think that's just something that established me when I first came into the first team.
That work and mentality has paid off with the fast start of the season.
We're really happy with the way that he's moving himself forward. He has taken the ideas and has really shown that he is picking things up. Obviously, there's the attacking part, his ability to find chances, his ability to take balls on the move, to dribble, to go by guys, run in the box. The part that goes with it is how much work he does for us against the wall, how much pressing, how much sprinting, how much chasing, how much work he does to really make the game difficult on the other team. And so we're really, really happy with the progress that he's made. We're going to continue to push him.
As he continues to grow, so does the chemistry with his teammates around him.
I've known Julian for a very long time now. I see the way he works in training. I'm getting to know him more and more, obviously, as we play together. on and off the field. And then when I step onto the field, I know where he's going to be on the field, what his positioning is like, where he wants the ball, left foot, right foot. And we're kind of growing that connection, which has been going in a really good way, and hopefully, to grow that connection even more.
Mehmeti, has he broken through here? Mehmeti across, Hall! 2-0!
I think it's just the trust with the coaching staff. Coach Michael, he's done a great job with us during preseason and putting trust in me to start the first couple games. It's a lot of credit to him for putting his belief in me. Obviously, I have to go out there and perform to the best of my ability, and thankfully, I've got a couple goals so far. The goal is to keep progressing throughout the season.
Talent and work ethic have helped Julian's dreams come true faster than even he could have predicted.
I've always dreamt of becoming a professional soccer player, but I never really expected to happen so fast, to be honest. Earlier that year, I was still just playing academy, and I was progressing well, but I never thought it would lead to signing a contract later that year. So it's kind of a lesson there just to be ready for anything, and anything can happen very, very quickly. You really just have to put your all into whatever you're doing, and things can happen. I think a big thing is just self-belief, because when I was playing in MLS Next, I was signing a contract later that season. I had no idea. I did not have a plan on signing that year. That was not in my plan at all. I think things like that can come from just you doing as much as you can, and things will just happen by itself, as long as you're working hard and giving 100% every single day, good things will happen. And, thankfully things came to me that year, and, you gotta be grateful, and you gotta use it as much as you can to your abilities.
Coming forward, 4-on-4, it's Werner again, gets it out from beneath his feet, Werner cutting it, Buddha on the back post, it's in! The San Jose Earthquakes, the first team to put it past Hugo Lloris this year, and their dream start to 2026 continues.
But Timo Werner, he does not waste the opportunity. Brilliant ball to the back post.
At least not ones at the top of the table. But this San Jose team has been fantastic. And here they come. Werner! My goodness! Seismic from San Jose! Timo Werner's first goal in Major League Soccer doubles the lead. 2-0.
This is a driving run, a convincing run from Timo Werner. Two big moments, two big plays. Timo Werner delivers.
San Jose looking for the lead late on here at home.
Werner makes no mistake about this one. Striking it right at him. Stuber always in the right spot. Not this time.
Just past the midpoint of the second half. San Jose wanting to get back on even terms. Werner! 3 straight games with a multi-goal contribution for Timo Werner.
Marcel Hartel.
Buddha for Werner! The Quakes lead! Timo Werner! 3-2!
To make the right run at the right time. Unbelievable finish there by Werner on the back post.
Welcome back. MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. It's the U16 homegrown semifinals. Halftime. Barca lead Met Oval by 2-0 in what has been an incredible, pulsating first half of action straight from the get-go.
Oh yeah, let's turn up. When you got opportunities early on in the match, if you're a neutral fan, you are happy because this game has been exciting. A lot of work to do for Barcelona on the defensive side here, but they flip offense or defense into offense. First chance from the eventual goal scorer here, Duet, looking to just rev his engine there, getting to his left foot. But this is going to set up the way that he eventually hits the back of the net.
Well, both teams had chances in the early stages. Met Oval thought they were in front.
Yeah, you can see here Ramirez gets himself into a goal-scoring opportunity, hits the back of the net. It's called back for offside. You can see how tight that is. Look at that ball, though. It's clipped in a very good way to get over the defender. We talk about getting over the defenders. Look at the bottom of your screen here. Sean, Duet doing his thing here. He's going to cut inside. Ertz, he's going to hit the back of the net. Bang! 1-0 to Barca Academy early on in the first half.
Just about a minute after they thought they were a goal nil down, Barca. A goal to the good. Pastuno with the pass. Duet with the finish. 1-0 to Barca Residency Academy. They weren't done there in the first half.
Yeah, playing through the lines to Van Cleve is what's going to open this one up here. A little bit of a hezzy. Bump it over to Laga. Laga gets it out of his feet. Goalkeeper spills it. First to it is Van Cleve. That's not the first. That's the second goal for Barca Academy. They're looking to cruise on into the finals here, but I can guarantee you one thing. Met Oval is going to continue on, and they're going to look for opportunities to get themselves back into this game.
Well, Alexander Zelenik thought he had it on the double save, but Van Cleve wheels away with his first of the tournament, Barca's second in this half, and they had a chance right before halftime to make it 3.
Yeah, and one of the bright spots for Met Oval throughout the course of this tournament has been their goalkeeper, and Zelenik. He does a very good job there not to give a second bite at the apple. Very ironic because Met Oval hasn't even given up a goal in this tournament to this, or up to this game here. This guy right here started off the goal scoring. Sean, Duet, he has been excellent. Can he continue on a very good exploits in this second half? Because Barca, what they're looking to do is take their good energy and parlay that into the second. Like we talked about, Met Oval, they're going to continue on in their very strong, resolute mentality, their cohesion to look to get chance after chance, because chances is exactly what they had in the first half. They're just unable to hit the back of the net.
2-0 at the break. Barca in front. But there were chances on both ends during that first half. This semifinal is not over, not by the longest stretch of the imagination. Jalil Anibaba, what do you think the message is from both of these coaches to these U16 young men here at halftime of a semifinal? There's a chance to get to the final if they can get over the line here.
Yeah, for Barca, it's going to be to make sure that you don't fall into the dangerous psychological footballing trap, thinking that, okay, 2-0 is enough, we are all good. Make sure that when you're on offense, you look for that third, you keep that knife in between your teeth here. Can Van Cleve find his second goal of the day and second goal of the tournament? And then on the other side of the line for this group is to, again, fight that psychological trap where you can find yourself getting a bit discouraged and know that you are very close. If you are able to find the back of the net pretty much at any point in this match while the scoreline is 2-0, you are in a very good spot. I liked what they did throughout the course of the first half. They obviously were not shaken up by the scoreline. They continued to look for opportunities. They had good ones. Can they be just a little bit more clinical in front of net?
Well, both of these teams have finished games well to get to this point. Both of these teams have scored late goals. What is in store for the second half? Away we go in this semifinal at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. They've switched sides, of course. It's Metropolitan Oval from right to left now, trailing 2-0 to Barca Residency Academy. Coming to you live from Zions Bank Stadium in Harriman, Utah. Along with Jalil Anibaba, I'm Carter Augustine. Thank you for joining us throughout the week and indeed this morning. And what was a fantastic first half of action here. These two teams both so confident on the ball through that first 45. Ethan O'Neill. Wayward, aimless on the pass forward, intercepted by the All-Whites of Met Oval. Culmination of this long 25-26 MLS next season. Best youth teams from around the country, coming from all corners of the country here to Utah over the past week or so. And this is a good example, as we got two teams from opposite corners of the country. Met Oval representing New York, representing Queens. Barca Residency Academy out of Casa Grande, Arizona. First half sub was Jace Pack. He's trying to cut inside and find Tumanello. Back on the ball, the All-Whites of Metropolitan Oval. Marcellus Singleton II for Corletto. Slide tackle, well timed. It had to be there for Oropesa. Ramirez on the chase. He will force the quick clearance from Zach Enon, the Barca goalkeeper. Lovely little outside of the boot flick there from Patrick Bonsu Jr. Can they spring into the attack? They're going to slow things down here in Met Oval. Little Tumanello thought he had the assist on that agonizing offside decision in the first half. Brandon Marte biting off more than he could chew. Double team working well there for Barca. And that's well done. First time pass from Malaga. He'll find DeWitt, who's got space down the left. DeWitt cutting onto the corner. Pass one, pass to second. DeWitt. Well, he's full of confidence. Why shouldn't he be? That shot goes high and wide. Slick passing in the center circle there to spring the move for Barca Residency Academy.
Yeah, the interchange and cohesion between Alaga and DeWitt has created a lot of problems for Met Oval. DeWitt has done a very good job operating on the left side predominantly to create problems, but for Alaga, what he's done very well is finding that soft space more centrally. Yes, he's playing on that right-hand side at times, but he'll come into that little soft space centrally, get on the ball on the half turn, either look to create for himself or facilitate. It's definitely been a bright spot for Barca.
Kept alive on the sideline by Bonsu Jr. Lee has it pinched away by Quinones. Throw in for Barca. Both of these clubs bringing numerous teams to the competition. Barca had their U15s knocked out in the round of 32. Their U17s knocked out in the round of 32. Their U19s, much like these U16s, through to the semifinals on penalties in the quarters. They'll take on Columbus Crew tomorrow. Alaga biding his time to find the pass along the far side. And that's scraped a bit wide. As that's a newcomer out onto the pitch. Jordan Williams gets his shot away from the left back position. He will be perhaps a bit miffed that he wasn't in the starting lineup here this morning. He started all three of the matches heading into the semifinal, did Jordan Williams, but he's on at halftime for Barca here today. Now eyes in the back of the head to spot that run. Lee, a little chip forward. Well judged by the back line. Now Lee trying to get beyond his marker. He does so. Lee splits the double team. That's clever. Lee's into the area. Lee towards the end line. Enterprising run from Joshua Lee.
Yeah, this is good from Lee, just battling physically early on. Doing a very good job to throw his hands up, saying, hey, I'm not fouling. And then the feet there to wiggle in between two defenders as Van Cleve tried to come over to help. And help defense is how Ethan O'Neill is able to clear his lines at the end of the day. That's what you should look for from Met Oval. Very disciplined in their attack, but also having the mentality individually from all of their players, but then collectively to stay with plays, create opportunities. I like that there from Lee. Not going to be easy for Barcelona in this second half to remain where they are in control of this match, because Met Oval will continue to push the issue.
Yeah, they're pushing up the pitch here to press, and they time it well. Interception from Corletto. But Van Cleve there to dig in and win the tackle. Space now for Alaga, one-on-one, right inside channel. He finds a pass into feet for Lopez. Just a bit too heavy the first touch. Picked up by Zelenik. He's being told to turn. Calle. Lee trying to return.
Ooh,
that's a bit late from Lee.
Probably going to the book, yep.
Yellow card out of the pocket for the referee. First player to be booked here this early afternoon for Met Oval. A little revenge on the mind, perhaps, for Joshua Lee after he lost out.
Yeah, just coming in through late. That's what a yellow card looks like. All day, every day. Very well done from the refereeing crew just to nip some of that stuff in the bud. You don't want this game to have a headline that takes anything away from the football. So refereeing crew, as frustrations may tend to rise, you want to make sure that you stay on top of those types of things. At the end of the day, yellow card, no harm, no foul.
So one player booked for each team now. Lee for Met Oval, and the man on the ball ahead of this dead ball situation, Sebastian Calderon, was the man booked in the first half for Barca. I believe it was Easton Odom to make way for the inclusion of Jordan Williams. Dumped in behind a chase. DeWitt trying to make up the ground. Corletto getting there first. Goalkeeper scrambles it away. Picked off now by Van Cleve. Van Cleve looking for options. He's going to drop it off. Pastuna. All hands on deck there for Metropolitan Oval. Heart and mouth time for Alexander Zelenik. Just about able to get that away. Interception from Calle. Now it's back again with Barca. Important there, Bonsu Jr.
Ooh.
Lee left it a bit short. That allowed for DeWitt to sprint in, intercept, and he's on into the attack for Barca towards the byline, cutting it.
Ooh.
Along the near post and wrong side of the net as far as Barca are concerned. Goal kick to come for Met Oval.
Really like what I've seen here from Sean DeWitt. We've talked about the interchange from the front three. He's mainly been operating on the left-hand side, but he's occupied that, you know, dual 10 role, if you will, dropping in at times. He shifted over to the right, as you saw on that last play, willing and ready to do the dirty work when needed. And when you talk about dirty work, sometimes it makes, you know, for weary legs and you have to go to the benches. That's exactly what Barcelona is going for here in the 52nd minute as they make their second sub of the match.
Both fullbacks now have been withdrawn, and the man on the yellow, Sebastian Calderon, is the man to come off. He's replaced by Melvin Ramirez. Ramirez did start in the round of 16 and the quarterfinals. Van Cleve disguising his pass, asking for a handball that's not going to be given. Williams is going to let that bounce along the far sideline. Ethan O'Neill. Mentioned he came fresh off the flight from Croatia to play in the second half against Orlando City. Seeing Ezra Van Cleve now joining up with the U16s. It has allowed for plenty of players to get starting opportunities in the tournament for Barca. Calle. Looking left, wheeling back right. Bouncing ball, Tuminello does well. He'll find Pak. Back towards Tuminello. Pak offside. And that will allow for subs to enter the fray for Met Oval. Ethan Lukic going to check on for Christian Brandamarte. And Joshua Lee, following that yellow card, will be subbed off. James Palazzo is going to be the man to replace him. Double change for Met Oval as they lead by they trail by 2 goals. 10 minutes gone in this second half. Mentioned the other age groups for Barca. For Met Oval, their U19s were knocked out in the round of 16 by Columbus Crew, but they've got U14s at the competition as the younger age groups are just getting going here today on this Thursday. One of the most storied youth programs, certainly in the Northeast, if not across the entire country. Metropolitan Oval celebrating their 100th anniversary as a club. Williams, oh, that's a lovely little backheel flick, but the slide challenge perfectly timed by Marcellus Singleton. Alaga into feet for Lopez. Van Cleve keeping it ticking over to the far side for Williams. This is lovely stuff for Barca. Edge of the area. Oh! It rattles the post and stays out. Alaga onto the rebounds. Skied by Lopez. A beautiful Barcelona move.
Yeah, Barca out here turning up, man. And they got a little bit of everything, like a plate of paella. What I like about this here is the intricate passing, the underlap there from the left back. Substitute looking to get himself on the score sheet. The upright has different ideas about the score line here, but Barcelona has been showing the way that they can intricately pass up to the field, and then when they get into the attacking third, they create a lot of problems.
Might have been the first touch for Melvin Ramirez to sell him up to rattle the post. Now it's Kaye bearing down into the area. Kaye, still Kaye, looking for shooting room. He'll slide it across. Puck!
Oh!
Smashes it off the inside post. It rolls all the way along the far sideline and out for a throw.
I'll tell you what, this is time and time again. When we're talking about how good one team is, the next team says, hey, stop talking about them and talk about us here. It goes end to end. Puck is going to want this one back because he just hits the post, and it's a matter of inches there. I really like how Met Oval has kept into this game. From a mentality standpoint, this is not easy to do. Go end to end, defend, and get very lucky, if you will, to not go down 3-0. They don't seem to be riding the emotional wave of this game. And if they're able to find themselves in the position where they pull one back.
Oh, a little Maradona from Tuinello as he spins into a shot, tipped over the bar from Enon. Corner to come as right on cue. You're talking about this mentality from Met Oval. They are fighting for their lives in this semifinal.
They really are. And if they're able to pull one back, it will be because, of course, ability. But you have to be able to apply ability with good mentality here. It's good stuff for Met Oval. That's another good chance. If it's not for good goalkeeping, Met Oval probably would be level in this match, if not ahead.
Yeah, fabulous save from Zach Enon to deny Will Tuminello what would have been a stunning goal. Corner to come. 2 hands in the sky, looking like it's going to be a right-footed delivery. Will it be an outswinger? We'll see. We'll see. They're crowding the goalkeeper. It is swung out towards the penalty spot. Header away from Pastuna. Bonsu Jr. clipping it towards the far side. And just drifting away from Pak for a goal kick.
Barca in, back, and through. This is, can't even call it a underlap. That's the right back coming into the midfield central position. And man, you go from end to end stuff, inches as far as not being able to hit the back of the net. Barca looking to go up 3-0. Soccer gods, if you will, have other thoughts about the scoreline. And as it stands right now, 2-0 to Barca in the 61st minute. There's still a lot to play for.
It's still time to play for it. Half an hour to go plus stoppage time for Met Oval to try and claw their way back into this. Nice touch from Palazzo. There's a man down off ball, and it's a head injury, so this is well spotted. Good communication from the refereeing crew. And this is really unfortunate for Met Oval. Down is Andres Calle. Everything he's touched really has been gold. Every time they've gotten the ball into his feet, he's created something seemingly in this match. Been one of the outstanding players so far for Met Oval, Andres Calle Padilla. He's being attended to by the training staff here for Metropolitan Oval, which will allow for a bit of a impromptu hydration break, as it is hot and windy here in Utah throughout the course of the week. Be sure to stay tuned for the second match of our doubleheader here on the MLS YouTube channel. As 2 o'clock Mountain Time, we will move on to the MLS Next Cup U15 semifinal between City SC San Diego and IFA of New England. MLS Next Cup playoffs presented by Allstate. At the copper mine in the distance here surrounding the stadium, as Barca have been mining for gold at times out on the pitch so far.
Yeah, I saw what you did there, bro. I saw that. And you talk about a beautiful backdrop and the scenery here in the Salt Lake City area. It doesn't get any better than this in late May. There's a freshness in the air that allows these players to hone into their craft, meaning they can run all day long with all the minutes that they've logged on their legs here. If you're playing under these conditions, it gives you every opportunity to put all of the hard work that you put into this season here to practice. And as we're getting ready to get back into play, a lot to play for here left in this match. The scoreline doesn't fully reflect, in my opinion, how even or end-to-end this game has been. Both teams have had opportunities. If every opportunity or clear-cut one at that had found the back of the net, we'd probably be looking at a scoreline of maybe like 6-5. And from a neutral standpoint, that's what you want as far as an exciting game here in the semifinals. You have to give these players a lot of credit, because from a mentality standpoint, both teams have been excellent. Very curious to see what the rest of this game has in store for us.
Well, both of these teams have demonstrated their fitness levels throughout the course of the tournament. When you look at the 11 goals scored by Met Oval, 7 of them have come at the 57th minute or later. They're used to scoring late goals. Likewise, Barca have done well late on in the matches. They found a 77th minute equalizer in the round of 32 against New England. It was tied 1-1 before they went ahead in the 77th minute and found a 90th minute goal thereafter against Baltimore. And they found an 88th minute equalizer against Orlando City on Tuesday in the quarterfinals. These teams have been scoring late goals in the tournaments. That's usually a recipe for success. And might that trend continue? This match doesn't really feel like it's going to end with just a 2-0 scoreline.
Really doesn't. When you talk about it from the perspective of Met Oval, they've been pushing the issue. A lot of their clear-cut chances have come from the man that has walked off the field, and it looks like it may be difficult for him to come back into this match and continue. Calle is creating a lot of dangerous situations for his side down the left-hand side, mainly in the first half. Second half, he had a few opportunities as well, but anytime there's a potential head injury, take these things very, very seriously. That's why everybody on both sides of the line are very patiently waiting to see when and if the substitute for Met Oval is going to come in, when we're going to be able to start back here. And that's why you don't see people really freaking out here, because any head injury is taken very seriously.
Yeah, we are wishing all the best for Andres Calle, who has been an outstanding performer for Met Oval, not only here today but throughout the tournament. That'll be a big loss. Filling his shoes now is Andres Valenzuela. And he needs to fill those socks up with the shin pads. That's what was taking a bit longer. He was eager to come off the bench. Forgot that little key aspect. Those shin guards these kids are wearing, things are tiny. He slipped into his socks there. He's back in action as it's a drop ball. And credit to the refereeing crew for communicating that there was a player down with a head injury. We're back in action after an extended break. Players will have gotten a bit of water into their systems, catch their breath, and get a little bit of words of encouragement from the coaching staff ahead of this final stretch. Certainly should expect quite a bit of stoppage time at the end of the 90 now in this second half, following that lengthy look at the injury to Andres Calle. Valenzuela on. He has scored in the tournament. Can he come off the bench into the goals once more for Met Oval? Interception from Van Cleve. Smashed away on the heavy touch by Corletto. Second ball falls to Tumanello. Tumanello. Nice touch. Fizzed into feet for Pac. Down he goes. Howls from the crowd. And it's the bench of Met Oval, but the decision goes the other way. Free kick for Barca.
Chippiness just showing its head in this match here. And in full transparency here, the refereeing crew didn't get that one correct.
Not waiting around to be frustrated are Met Oval as they step up the pressure, put the ball over the top. Like Velcro, the touch of Lopez, and he continues his run. That's where the pass was aimed. That's an important tackle along the back line for Met Oval. I think it was Ayesi in the way.
It's a good ball there from Veng.
Lopez, sombrero, Lopez still, Lopez! Well, he created the space with a bit of flair, but it's well saved by Zelenic.
Very good switch of play here to play it into the front line, and then a little saw swag to pirouette there. Very difficult in between traffic. Barca has been able to create opportunities at the turn of a dime by good passing, but then the understanding of how to displace this Met Oval defense. Also have individual brilliance that has been on display, mainly for Barcelona.
Ramirez able to jump on the loose ball. Blocked off his toes out for a throw. Up the line from the throw. Tumanello. Clever back heel flick. And the referee is going to pull it back for the foul. Just a little tug of the shirts as the touch was heavy from Ramirez. Will Tumanello looking to create with his little back heel, but they will have a free kick, an opportunity to send some players forward, the likes of Singleton coming up from the back here for Met Oval. Patrick Bonsu Jr. going to set it up on the turf. Just one player in the wall for Barca. That's Van Cleve as they hold their line on the edge of the 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 white shirts lining up to try and attack this dead ball. Bonsu curling it towards the penalty spot, headed away by DeWitt. Picked up by Ayesi. He's got quick feet. He finds Tumanello. Tumanello aims for the curler and didn't quite wrap his foot around it how he had hoped. Triple change getting ready for Barca as Darwin Lopez is going to be withdrawn. Luca Martins started all 3 games before today. He will check in. Damian Quiñones will make way for Mateo Enriquez. Arman Alaga. Looks like his goal streak is going to come to an end. But plenty of involvement in the attack for Barca. He is replaced by Sergio Kong. Triple change for Barca as we move into the final 20 minutes of normal time. They lead still 2-0, as they have done since the first half. That's good energy off the bench. Luka Martins attacking it. It's off him and out for a throw for Met Oval. Bonsu Jr. unable to combine in the attack. Ayisi forcing Barca back to the goalkeeper. And under pressure, Enon just going to let it fly. It turns into a good out ball. This control, though, from Van Cleve, a bit uncharacteristic from what we've seen from that young man throughout the course of the match. And now space on the near for Valenzuela. One-on-one, Valenzuela into the double team. And that's good backtracking work for Barca. Getting involved was Ramirez. Bonsu Jr. there to pick it off, intercepts. Give and go with Valenzuela. Now he dips the shoulder. He's round a defender. Bonsu Jr. round a second defender. Bonsu Jr. into the block. Barca struggling to clear their lines. To Manello. Van Cleve, that's a good battle. Williams, oh, he disguised it with his eyes there. That's useful. And DeWitt draws the free kick to relieve the pressure.
Yeah, those little things right there that Sean Duet does make a whole lot of difference. When the defense has been under distress, they finally get the ball to the attacker and the goal scorer. He just draws the foul, and then this is how now Barcelona is going to be able to regain possession, move the ball side to side, and take a lot of the wind out of the sails of Met Oval. Very well done from Sean Duet. But on the other side of the line here, I really like, again, what I'm seeing from Met Oval.
Yeah, that time it was Patrick Bonsu Jr. who was creating the attack for the side out of New York.
Yeah, and Bonsu Jr. is a player that typically sits a little bit deeper, if you will, moves the ball side to side, but he comes alive in the attacking third as well, and that's what we saw in the previous play.
Another foul drawn by DeWitt. Tough to take the ball away from this young man. MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. A scintillating semifinal just about ready to head into the last quarter hour. Entry pass is a good one. First time layoff from Van Cleve. Astuna carrying it over to Williams. Checking two was Martins. DeWitt. Testing cross. It's a free-flowing Barcelona goal. There to apply the finishing touch is Melvin Ramirez. Van Cleve at the heart of things once again. And Barcelona are 15 minutes away from the final. It's 3-0.
Whenever you're able to play into the middle of the field and that little half space, you can turn and then the rest of the field opens up. Van Cleve at the top of your screen, earlier goal scorer to score the second, facilitates the third here. But a lot of credit has to go to the substitute. He gets himself goal side and finds the back of the net. Very good movement there. Vamos, 3-0 to Barcelona. This is good stuff there. And what I like about how Barcelona has been able to displace this Met Oval defense, who has been prolific throughout the course of this tournament, is that you don't know who is going to be the most dangerous person. Yes, of course, it's Ramirez, the substitute, who comes in and has flipped this game on its head. He's been excellent since he came into this match, but they have so many attacking players that can hurt you that when you fall asleep on the back post, you'll be punished as well. So many attacking options for Metropolitan to keep track of. It becomes too much. Barcelona finds himself in the driver's seat in the 76th minute, 3-0 up.
How many passes were in that move for Barca? Beautifully done. And as you said, this Metropolitan defense has not been broken down at all in the tournament. Nearly 300 scoreless soccer minutes until they come up against the Blaugrana of Barca here this afternoon. Valenzuela, swing and a miss. Picked up by Van Cleve. Now an assist to go with his goal. DeWet with the pass before the pass on that third. He'll pull up on the reins here for Barca to start killing the clock. Depth by passing. Off the mark, that from Kong. Valenzuela wins that 50-50. Valenzuela looking infield. Ramirez checks his shoulder, looking for the return now to Valenzuela, who is offside. It's looking like he had ran out of gas there, Valenzuela. Double change late on now for Met Oval. As Pak will be withdrawn, sub for the sub. He's replaced by Simon Sussman. And Corletto is the other man to make way. Christian Meneses, the other player on for Met Oval. DeWet somehow able to keep that alive. And now he'll turn, dart past a would-be defender, attacking all the green space ahead of him. DeWet sliding it in for Kong. Kong looking to return, and they just about managed to circle the wagons there. Met Oval. Room to roam on the far side, not for very long. Enriquez got over in a hurry to block that attempt at the ball over the top. It's a good throw into feet, and that can spark something perhaps from Met Oval. Ayisi gets beyond one. Ayisi loses a second defender. The third defender is there. That's Enriquez. Now with Kong slowing things down for Barca Residency Academy. Final for this match is, or for this division, I should say, is on Saturday. It will be the nightcap, last match of our 4 games on the MLS YouTube channel on Saturday evening. Williams. Now Van Cleve.
Good turn.
Nice take, and he's past a defender, Bonsu Jr. He can find the run of Ayisi. Ayisi sprinting into the area. Oh, he stops on a dime. Ayisi on his left. Just allowed for that double team to come back around and get the block in. He sent them flying as he stopped in his tracks. Ayisi, he does earn a corner for Met Oval.
Ayisi does an excellent job to, just hit the little emergency brake there. Wants to get it back on his left. And that's what allows the Barcelona defense to be able to recover. Ethan O'Neill and company there, again, relying on their team defending to keep the scoreline where it is.
Well, if they want to get back in this semifinal, they've got to score the first in a hurry. It's a corner kick now. Bonsu Jr. looping header back into danger, but to the gloves of Enon. Talked about Met Oval having 3 clean sheets in their 3 games. Barca have yet to keep a clean sheet. How about a semifinal being that time to pick up your first shutout of the tournament? Of course, still 10 minutes plus stoppage time away from doing so.
Yeah, and I think as far as a clean sheet is concerned for Barca, I think a lot has to do with it is Ethan O'Neill coming back into the fold. Recently in Croatia with the national team, the 15s, where they placed third in the tournament out there. First and foremost, shout out to them for representing the red, white, and blue very well across the pond. But Ethan O'Neill coming into the fold here gives the back line of Barcelona a little bit more poise, passing out of the back, and then when you need that last-ditch challenge, he's able to put it in. And as far as leadership is concerned, keeps the back line organized, everybody on the same page there. We've talked about the fact that they rely on their high line. There were two key plays in the first half where they stepped their line up. One where Met Oval ends up hitting the back of the net. It was called back for offside. So when you have your key man in the center of the defense who's organizing, playing out of the back, defending when needed, it gives everybody behind and in front the poise to be able to find themselves 3-0 up in the 82nd minute as they go to the bench.
Diego Sanchez going to check in. As one of the players of the match perhaps we'll check out. That's Ezra Van Cleve. So too Jaden Pastuno, who had the assist on the opener. So two key players in midfield for Barca checking off as Sanchez checking in for Barca. Bouncing, still alive in the area. And on to it now is Zelenik. Williams did well. His tackle nearly turned into a pass, but picked off by Met Oval. Ayisi has moved forward into attacking position after all the subs for the New Yorkers. As the other player to check on was Jacoby Nixon for Barca in that double change. Attacking the line, Joshua Lee. Now a flick header flashing in the direction of Ayisi, but there's just too many in the garnet and blue, the Blaugrana, to pick it off for Barca.
Oh.
Coming together along the near sideline. And down goes Sean DeWitt after he collided with the table. Coming together between DeWitt and Meneses. And Met Oval are frustrated because DeWitt was injured off the field and he rolled back on.
Yeah, I agree with Met Oval there. Sean DeWitt has been fantastic throughout the course of this match. And unfortunately for him, from a physical standpoint, he runs into the table that is very close to this end line here. But he was off the field and then knows what he's doing by rolling back on to the field here. Oof, that's tough. I've suffered challenges there where you run into something either close to the benches or the benches themselves there. He's an intelligent, athletic kid there, so he's able to brace himself. You can see that he's definitely in some pain, but he's off the field here. There's no reason for him to roll back on other than wasting time, but the referees will do a very good job to make sure that the time is allotted for, and at the end of the day here, it gives both sides the ability to get some water. Hopefully, DeWitt is okay as he's getting treatment by the excellent training staff of Barca Academy.
A little check into the boards there. 2 minutes for boarding, perhaps. DeWitt's showing he's got what it takes at the CONCACAF level. Those little tools and tricks to try and see the match over the line. They're just about 5 minutes plus stoppage time away now, Barca, from booking their passage through to the championship final. on Saturday night. They're playing down a man without DeWet at the moment. Down a man, but on the ball, and that's smuggled through cleverly by Ramirez. He's demanding the return, and it does find its way back to Melvin Ramirez, looking for his second. Takes the shot on, deflected out for a Barca corner. That's one way to defend with 10. Just keep the ball.
Isn't that the definition of the ethos of what Barca looks to do, huh? In all phases of the game. If you are unsure, if you're uncertain, or if you are flying high, keep the ball and let it work. Let the other team suffer in trying to get it back. And what Barca Academy has done very well throughout the course of this match is do exactly that. Had very good understanding of how to get themselves where they want in this match, and that's in the driver's seat. One step very close into the finals.
Corner kick towards the front post. Defensive header to get it clear. Now from a long way out, a couple of blocks thrown in by the Met Oval man. That was Palazzo getting involved. Now it falls to Ramirez. Late lead here for Barca at Zions Bank Stadium. It's a late lead on Field 2 in the other semifinal as Total Football Academy are 2-0 up on Philadelphia Union. Late on into that match. Of course, the winner of that one moving on to play the winner of this in the final on Saturday. Our crew, absolute stars. We get a little sneak peek at Field 2 there. How about that?
Hey, man, there's nothing that our production crew can't do. If you don't want the cameras to see, don't do it, because our crew could catch it, man. And what I like about this tournament is that we've been able to cover so many exciting matches here, but most importantly, giving our young stars the platform to be able to show everybody around the world why football in North America is something that everybody needs to understand is developing at a rate faster than probably anywhere else in the world.
Ayesi takes it in stride. Ayesi, great ball in!
That's a
side
great
foot finish. Ramirez pulls one back from Met Oval, not going down without a fight. It's Barca 3, Metropolitan Oval 1.
Good progression up the near left-hand side for Met Oval. I told you that their mentality is going to allow them to stay in this match. Substitute gets down toward the end line. Anytime you're able to cut it back, it's very difficult for the defend. Why? Because they have to then face their own goal, turn around very quickly when the attack is facing forward. That is a good finish. Goal scorer is rewarded by staying in this match. He thought he had one earlier on in the match. It was offside. He finally gets one. Time is of the essence here. Barcelona is going to need to perk up because Met Oval, again, is not going to roll over and make this easy.
And we should have quite a bit of stoppage time. Remember that lengthy injury in the second half. We've now had 2 goals fly in. Who knows if they could find their second here? Could send up for a grandstand finish. Met Oval. Bonsu goes down. Free kick for Metropolitan Oval.
Really like what I've seen from the captain and Bonsu. He's again facilitated very well from deep lying positions. He's comfortable in tight spaces, wiggles free, draws fouls when the contact comes in. But he's a complete player. He also has the ability to come alive in the attacking third when he's in front of net. A good player to make sure that you keep an eye out on as he continues on in his progression.
Zelenik, the goalkeeper, comes up to clip it forward. Disappointing the service there. Might he get a second opportunity? He will. Now floated over the top. Hands go up for offside, and the flag goes up as well along the far side. Just seconds remaining of normal time. That goal for Joaquim Ramirez is his 4th of the tournament. He's scored in 3 out of 4 games now. Bonsu Jr. into the center circle. As the 4th official puts a big 7 spot up on the board. 7 minutes of stoppage time for Met Oval to try and find 2 goals without reply. Ayesi's starting to find his footing in this second half. Started along the back line, and he's been a danger man in the attack over the past few minutes. He draws a free kick for Met Oval.
Yeah, really creating a lot of problems as Aisi draws a very crucial foul here with the set piece opportunity. If they go for the outswinger here, what you would expect is that he would try to drop it into that area right in between the back line and the goalkeeper to create a lot of confusion, with the opportunity for all Met Oval players to be crashing onto it going forward.
They're lining up at the back post.
There it goes. That's
Cross
a good ball.
Swerved in that direction. Good ball in. Corner kick. Well defended by Barca. They're asking if the... No, they're asking for a ball as that was sent out of the stadium. And now a couple people getting the ball back in action. Will the goalkeeper come up? Perhaps a bit too soon for that. They do have a 2-goal deficit. Met Oval. Just delivered some mouth-watering service on the near side. It'll traipse over to the far side for the corner. Christian Aisi swerving it towards the back stick. Oh, a good ball in. Unable to clear. Barca, edge of the area, scrape shots from Palazzo. That was a chance for Met Oval. Just couldn't get full purchase on his shooting attempt. Quickly back in from the throw, all the way to the goalkeeper, who gets it forward in a hurry. Well timed that challenge, or was it? Foul against Valenzuela, and that relieves some pressure that had been building on Barcelona.
Yep, I said nope, because that's all ball there. I don't see a foul whatsoever.
Unfortunate for Met Oval. Looked like that was a perfectly timed stick challenge. And now Barca in behind. Kong dropping it off for Martins. Martins towards the end line. Martins instead goes for goal. Took a deflection and then smashed off the post and out for a corner. He tried to give everybody the eyes inside the area here, Luka Martins.
Yeah, just that little feint to get to right side. He elects to go with his stronger left foot there. It's very well done.
They're going to take it short to try and kill some clock here. Barca Residency Academy, they'll earn a free kick in the corner. And now they're starting to taste that championship match appearance to come. They'll slot it infield. Enriquez. Another corner to come. Young players for Barca learning how to kill off a semifinal lead here.
Still about 3.5 minutes left of stoppage time. I like the fact that they're going to the corner there. It's good stuff.
Dragging it through a defender. Past the second defender and going to grounds was Martins, but a goal kick given. Well, they're in a hurry, but they had everyone back to defend from the set piece. So he has to just pause a bit, Zelenik, before he'll pump it down the left-hand side. Stepping across was Nixon. A hopeful heave forward. Pressure the goalkeeper. Bonsu Jr. Along the sideline. Now the double team. Pincer together to pinch the ball away.
Far side's on.
Martins just pulling up instead. And now the space for Duet. As he angles towards the corner of the area. Duet. Inside the spin. Oh, lovely feet here from Martins. Looking back towards Duet, who's offside. Just been notified it's gone full time on field 2. Total Football Academy await the winner in the final as they defeat Philadelphia Union. yellow card out of the pocket for time wasting here.
Yeah, just trying to, bump the ball on to waste time. Meadow goalkeeper is not having it. So you're going to get a yellow card there for time wasting and also embellishment.
Duet on a yellow. Reminder, he scored the opener as we see the score updates. Full time, Total Football Academy 2-0 over Philadelphia Union. That's who awaits in the championship match on Saturday in this U16 homegrown division at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. Late challenge. Free kick and a yellow card to boot. Yellow card for Christian Meneses. Luka Martins. He's been showing off his fancy footwork since he came on as a sub.
Yeah, and showing good game awareness too to kill off the game in the right way. Drawing fouls, getting into deep positions on the right-hand side to get corner kicks as well, evading the defensive Met Oval, looking for goal-scoring opportunities to find that fourth. You can see here, Met Oval doesn't shift their first line of prevention over to the right or left one more step. Martins is on for yet another ability to get into the 18-yard box.
Diego Sanchez standing over the dead ball as Duet comes on the underlap. Duet wants another. Duet takes aim. A laser, but straight down the center. Zelenik. Underhand scoop on the toss to the far side. Full time. Barca Residency Academy on to the final at MLS Next Cup. A scintillating semifinal here at Zions Bank Stadium. Chances on both ends, but it's Barca who take their chances and book their passage through to the final on Saturday. They will play Total Football Academy to determine who are the champions of the U16 homegrown division at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. Barca Residency Academy 3-1 over Met Oval as we take a look at the man of the match presented by Adidas.
These are some of the best players in the country. When you talk about some of the best players in the country, you are talking about Ezra Van Cleve. He was excellent today. Had an assist later on in the match and got the goal scoring, jumping in the first half with the second goal. He's first to react, and he is first to celebrate to the corner there. You can see what it means to him. He's got a lot of swag. He's got a lot of confidence going into the final. Ezra Van Cleve, make sure you put a circle around this kid because we're going to be talking about him for years on end.
The eventual match-winning goal as he scored his first of the tournament. He added that assist on the free-flowing Barca move for the third as they move on to the final of the U16 homegrown division at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. Total Football Academy awaits as Barca came here amongst the field of 32 and they're into the final two. 3-1 victorious over Metropolitan Oval. The boys in the Blaugrana fighting on to the final on Saturday at MLS Next Cup presented by Allstate. This copyrighted broadcast of the 2026 MLS Next Cup may not be retransmitted, reproduced, or rebroadcast without the express written consent of Player Development, LLC.